I'm Ariana Grande.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Erivo,
and you're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network.
Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Watching clips of cats on YouTube, but a live show must begin. Broadway, how I've missed you, Broadway. I remember the old days, shows were happening then. I remember the time I flipped through my playbill. Please let Broadway start again. Burned out light bulbs, dusty stages, empty lines at the theater. Grizabella's not dying, the ball hasn't even started, and all of the cats are waiting. Matinee, I just want to see a matinee. I'll even come on Monday, and I'll stand in the back. I am willing to pay too much for a glass of wine. Just let Broadway start again. Deuteronomy is ready to make his choice. Grizabella's elevating. Gus is standing there being passed over. His tears of sadness are fading.
Wow, welcome everybody to Broadway Reborn. My name is Mike Abrams and I am the host of The Wrong Cat Died, the podcast breakdown of the catastrophe. My podcast interviews past cats, cast members, and argues why I think Grizabella was the wrong Jellicle choice. Now, first off, what about that music video? So a special thanks to Melanie Gerlitz, who sang and recorded this Broadway Reborn version of Memory. That song was written by me, performed by Melody, and then a special thanks to Alan Seals of the Broadway Podcast Network and Jonathan Cerullo, who helped produce that music video. So why are we here today? Why are you watching? And thank you for watching. Last October, the Cats National 3 Tour got together with Broadway Cares to have an amazing fundraiser called Cats for COVID Relief. And with Broadway reopening, we decided that what a better way than to celebrate Broadway being reborn to a new Jellicle life. So tonight, a thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, Jonathan Cerullo, and the entire Cats National 3 cast for helping put together this event. So here's what you can expect from today. You're going to get some fun conversations with cast members. You're going to get a little Cats trivia because there's a couple things I think a lot of people don't know that I want to make sure gets out into the world. And then most importantly, what I'm very excited for is we have a few Grizabellas here to come defend their Jellicle choice. So let's get started. And to kick us off, we have a few cast members that are going to join me. So let's meet them. Welcome everybody. Okay, so let's hear an introduction, who you were and who you played in Cats.
Well, I'll go first because I see my picture. I'm Jonathan Cerullo, and I played Skimbleshanks in National 3.
I'm Christine Toy Johnson. I played Syllabub.
I'm James Walski. I was the dance captain, and I understudied Plato McCavity, Alonzo, Tumble Brutus, and Pouncible.
Hi, I'm Deborah Geneviere Athens, and I played Demeter, and I want to introduce my partner in crime.
I'm Adrea Gibbs, and I played Bomb Ballerina.
Oh, that's right.
Very, very fun. So today
we never go anywhere without each other.
So today's about Broadway reopening. And so I want to take you back to your opening of that first night of Cats. Tell me about that experience. What was that first show like for all of you?
Oh, wow.
Well, I remember it was at West Point. It was West Point, and everyone in the audience was in a white uniform.
That's right. Look at that. I'm in white tonight. You're right, Christine. We looked out and there was a sea of white because they were all cadets, right?
And we had no idea what the response would be like, but it was amazing. It was fantastic.
Christine, were you a little worried doing green eyes in front of a bunch of military people, scaring somebody?
Honestly, I didn't think about that. I think we were also focused on remembering everything and getting it all right and the excitement of it. But now, thanks for ruining my memory of that, Mike, because now I will think about that.
But I do remember coming down the aisles doing green eyes, and we thought that people would be scared. But these are West Point cadets, and they sat there, eyes forward, and they did not flinch. So I thought maybe this green eyes doesn't really work. But it was West Point, and I'm so glad that these guys are on our team.
It was electric. I mean, it was unbelievable how the energy and that on that stage and the audience, it was pretty magical.
I wasn't there. I didn't join the company until Baltimore. But my first night, I remember very clearly Jimmy Walski laughing at me from the back of the audience because we realized during the Gus number when the Siamese came out that we hadn't bothered to block that number.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I spent most of the time getting poked in the butt with tridents and pushed around to get me to the right place. So
And the China Silk.
That exactly. Yes. Well, find all the props I could to make sure I made a big debut.
So there's a lot of theater lovers, I'm sure, watching it, but I think it's pretty evident how little I know. And so I know you do previews and you kind of go through this whole part of being ready to go, but then you have your real opening night. How different is that first true production versus everything before and everything after?
I'm going to let Jimmy answer that because we previewed the show at West Point. I can't remember how many performances, but when did we act? What was the city that we actually opened the show in? I can't remember.
Was it Atlanta? Is that right?
I think it was Atlanta because there's and this famous story between us, and I remember telling Mike this on when I was interviewed on the Wrong Cat Died, that a bunch of us were in a cab on the way to the theater, and we said to the cab driver, "Can you please take us to where Cats is playing?" Yes. And he said, "No, it's those darn cats." Interesting. The title of the show is Those Darn Cats. Anyway,
Those Darn Cats.
I digress.
That didn't stick. That didn't stick, unfortunately.
No.
So I mean, West Point was pretty amazing because we'd worked so hard for so long in the studio, and then we came in, we started working on the set, we were doing the technical aspects of it, and then the show was, I think everybody was so focused on what was working, what wasn't working, the lighting, the costumes, the casting, everything that was happening. And by the time we rolled into Atlanta, everybody was so secure and so aware of what they were doing. You could see, as myself as a dance captain, I saw the company elevate to a completely different level. They were all in it 100%. And our reviews showed it across the boards at that point. We were a massive hit. And we hit the ground running and just kept going.
Yeah. Sold out all over the country. And really, for a lot of people, the first time they got to see the show in the United States.
And we had one review that was pretty scandalous that came out along our run, maybe 5 or 6 stops into it. And I guess the reviewer was not a big Cat fan. He had seen the New York company and sort of had to come as a job to see our production. And in the review, it said that our next stop should be the Winter Garden Theater, our company.
Oh.
And that company maybe should resume our tour. And it was a little scandalous that it happened because they felt that we were a very different company and that maybe we should come in and replace the New York company and let them go out on the road. And there was a lot of chatter about that review that came out.
It's too bad that didn't happen, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Now, I'd love to kind of ask, I know this group has also done a lot of producing and directing. What is an opening night like for you on the other side of the house when you're not on stage, but you're still, heavily involved in a show? How does that change?
It's scary.
Yeah, you bring in your final collaborator on that opening night, and the true collaborator is your audience. So the idea is you never actually physically know or emotionally know how they're going to respond to the work that you've been working on. But with this particular show, it was already a sensation. And I just go back to the moment when we were doing our benefit last year, and Tom Viola, who is the head of Broadway Cares, said very clearly, you realize that you were the Hamilton of your times. And it didn't quite resonate with me until he actually said that. But, we were in a hit show that we just had to show up and do our jobs as best we knew how. And as we progress forward in our lives, I think we take that sense of responsibility to the audience very seriously. Anyone else can add to that? Chris, I know Adrea is working on some wonderful stuff. Christine's a prolific playwright right now who I just love. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's change gears. I have a very fun question for this group, and I did give you a little heads up it's coming, so I'm excited to hear your answers. But with the show starting to reopen, my knowledge of the show is the character analysis. So I know about your cats more than I know probably about anything else. And so I want to know if your cat, your character, was going to be cast in one of the shows that's going to be reopening, which show would they best fit in this new kind of coming back world?
That was the easy one. I think Bomb Ballerina would come back as Velma Kelly. I mean, seriously.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there's no other choice.
Yes, perfect.
I was thinking about that because I thought that Demeter would come back as one of the merry murderers, but she would be the Hungarian because she's she's innocent and she's like so vulnerable, and a man has completely destroyed her. So yeah, we will be in the same show again. I'm so
there
happy.
we go. That'd be fabulous. I'd love it.
I love it.
I've been in part of the North American tour of Come From Away since it began. And so I couldn't help but think that Syllabub would fit right in and come from away. But as Syllabub, she would be with Lyle, the other cat, in the hold, waiting to be rescued by Bonnie, and reassuring everyone that it would be okay, and they would be fine. So that's where I put her.
I love it. I had some different answers, so we'll go through all of them, and I'll tell you what I thought as well.
Well, if you wanted to ask Skimbleshanks where he would come back, I would have to say it would be the Elaine Stritch role, and Here's to the Ladies Who Lunch from Company. Period. End of statement. Right? Hello.
Music Man.
Yeah. So there you go.
Jimmy, what about you?
Let's see. Alonzo. Probably Chicago. So I would be in Chicago with Adrea and Deborah.
I think that's good. Let's do that. Let's
there
do
you
that
go.
And plan that. Okay?
Let's see. Plato McCavity. Lion King. Maybe Lion King.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And Tumble Brutus. Maybe A Monkey and Wicked. And
wow, you really thought about this, didn't you?
Not really. No. Pouncival. What other shows? Moulin Rouge. I think of Matt Zarley, so maybe Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I had a different answer for every single one of you, but I also know so little about most of these shows going. So I had Syllabub as the youngest daughter in Miss Doubtfire.
Okay.
I had Alonzo as one of the Weasley brothers in the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, or in that world. I actually thought for Bomb and Demeter, I had Chicago too, but I thought you could fit in 6 as well with the
good.
Angry Wives.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan, I struggle with Skimbleshanks a lot, but the whole train being built felt like an acid trip. So I think from my understanding, that's what Flying Over Sunset is. And so I thought Skimbleshanks should fit there.
Yeah, well, that train was built on stage. Yes, there you go. Perfect.
Now we're going to see an encore presentation of Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats. I would love to hear a little bit about how that came together, because I have seen it. I'm hoping some people have already seen it, but if you haven't, it's amazing to see what you put together in a virtual world. So tell me a little bit about that whole process, and then what we're about to see.
Let me just jump in there for a quick hot second. So Christine wrote the script to the entire benefit that we did, and Jimmy was an associate producer on the project, and Adrea did our graphic design, and Deb did all our social media. So we had absolutely no idea what the hell we were doing, because as Valerie from Broadway Care says, Jonathan, everyone's flying the plane, and we're building the plane as we're flying it. So good luck. It was a very complicated process, and I'm on bended knees to thank Brian Ronan and Matthew Gurin, who really were the technicians behind that. But what we did was we laid down a piano track. Austin Jetton, who you'll hear later, did a vocal track on top of that. Then we added a conductor conducting on top of that. We sent that video to the entire company. Everyone filmed their individual segment, and then all of that was edited together in the brilliance of Brian Ronan and Matthew Gurin. So it all of us are used to being in the room together, and when we had to repivot our performance and to do this, this is what would happen. And I think the end result is phenomenal. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they want to add to that, but that's sort of technically what we had to do. So Christine, Jimmy, Adrea, Deb, I don't know.
Well, don't forget having to relearn the song after all these years. That was something else.
Go there. Christine Toy Johnson texts me and says, is this the right key? And I'm like, yeah, Christine, this is like so key. This is the key we did this in. And I was like, yeah, so there you go. She goes, how the hell?
Well, and you know what, when we first started the process, I think we first started talking about it in maybe April of last year, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And so it was right in the beginning of our whole collective journey doing Zoom recording, virtual kind of technology, but it was fun, and everyone was so creative with how they how they showed up in their little box. I thought it was so great, and the editing, and Brian Ronan, right, our Tony Award sound designer, matching, putting all the voices together, and then Matthew editing it together. Yeah, it was really a lot.
Wow. And I do know, Deb, if you want to go back, I did ask a few people to re-record things. Deb, go ahead and tell them what your experience was.
Which time did you tell me to re-record? Okay, I got to admit, I was one of those people that also called Jonathan, and I was like, is this the right key? Because it's way too hard. And he's like, Deborah, you've gotten older. So even before I recorded my segment, I had to start getting back into vocal shape, and I was doing my vocal exercises, my scales and arpeggios, like 3 weeks before I recorded, because, I haven't sung for years, and I had to brush off the vocal cords. So I did it, and it was quite an undertaking to do this, especially if you're not in the business anymore. And I sent it to Jonathan. I thought, okay, that's done. And he says, sorry, Deb, we need to have you do it all over again, because he wanted me in pitch black. So I had to find the darkest room in my house, and I live in a very bright neighborhood. I ended up doing it in the shower stall, and I made my husband, and he wanted to have the car headlights like Demeter does when she makes the first entrance. So I had to make my poor husband do the headlights over and over again. And so, Jonathan gave him credit as well for lighting design. So it's not just Brian Ronan, but my husband also a genius. Thank you.
Amazing.
And let me just add that Adrea, if she holds up the book in homage to the idea that this was a poem. Adrea, do you want to? And the whole front of that book was the logo to the show. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I thought I was being really clever by doing that. So.
And you were. I loved that. Yeah.
In the little tiny studio apartment that I was staying in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that I had to figure out how to clip curtains up and prop things so I could. It was just. I took pictures of what it looked like, what the room looked like after I was done, because it was just. It looked like the junkyard. It was hideous.
Well, let's show everybody.
It was a mess.
And I just want to say,
let's show the world this video again. Before
you show that, I just want to say that what the intention of all of this was to celebrate this musical, this landmark musical that we did. So I hope your viewers will see that when you show this.
Wow. Absolutely love it.
Yay!
Great.
Welcome back. As you can see, we have a few more cast members here, so we're going to introduce them. I do want to mention for all the New Yorkers, it looks like Henry is slowly rolling in, so if you see some lightning and to my left, we're starting to get a little storm, but we will charge forward. And so let's hear who you are and what cat you played.
So I'm Amiee Turner. I played Cassandra.
I'm Joanna Beck, and I played Jelly Lorum and Griddlebone.
I'm Kari Nicolaisen, and I played Rumple Teaser, and then I left and came back as Bomb Ballerina.
I'm Anthony Vincent Bova. I played Tumble Brutus.
Amazing.
I'm Austin.
Jonathan.
I'm Austin Jetton. I played the Booth and Old Deuteronomy cover.
And I'm Jonathan Cerullo. I played Skimbleshanks. It's just, I love all of these people. Oh my God. That's my Cassandra. Amiee and I entered in one together, so just so you know, there you go.
Always, once you've entered in one together, you're friends forever.
There you go.
I'm excited for this. This is going to be a little bit of trivia. So this group is going to be trivia. We have, we're also going to have Alan jump in, who's going to keep score for us, and so be the judge and jury here. So here's how we're going to do this.
Trivia.
Three of you, your names start with an A, so you'll be on a team, and then we'll have the three of you without your first name starting with an A, and you will be on a team.
Tony,
and
Joey.
Okay. Okay. We have to work this out. Amiee, Austin, and Anthony. Okay, got it.
Tony, Kari, and Joanne.
Okay, Joanna. Yeah.
Joanna.
Just in case.
Joanna.
Yes. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask the question. We'll pop it in. And instead of yelling out the answer, I want you to yell out Jellicle and raise your hand. And whoever says that first, Alan's going to call on you and you'll get to answer the question if you know it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And then the winning team will introduce our next video.
So much pressure.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you want question number 1.
Question number 1.
Go.
The question number 1 is, there is one actress who performed in the original Broadway production for the entire run.
Bomb Ballerina. Jellicle.
No, it was Gumby
She played
Cat.
Bomb Ballerina.
She did play Bomb Ballerina. Do you know who the actress was?
Andrea, maybe?
Jellicle Songs. Wasn't it Marlena?
Yes, Marlena.
I think Austin wins.
No.
Austin gets that because he gave the name first. It is Marlena.
Marlena Danielle.
But I
thank
fed
you,
him
yes.
the answer anyway.
and the reason why that I remember that I'm general manager at a hotel up here, and her upstairs neighbor is at our hotel right now, so that was an easy one.
Can you imagine
amazing.
doing the show? I don't think she missed shows either. Like
The
never.
entire run as
Yeah,
Bomb and Demeter.
amazing.
She played both. Okay, question 2. This one's a little bit harder. In the Japanese production of Cats, there is a male cat that fights in Growl Tiger's Last Stand, but he goes by 2 different names depending on the production. Can you name either of those names?
Pouncival?
Corico Pat, maybe.
Jellicle. Say Jellicle.
You have to say.
I can only think of Corico Pat would be one
Yeah.
of the.
Well, that's not right.
It's not correct. It's not a, it's
We
not
didn't
a
have
common
that.
name.
We didn't
in the
have
US.
Corico Pat.
Yeah.
We didn't have Corico. That's why I mentioned them. Yeah, we didn't. They cut that
Cat
character.
that fights Growl Tiger's Last Stand.
There was
Who was that, Amy?
Pouncival.
Jellicle, isn't it Alonzo?
Alonzo.
Not Alonzo. It might be the Alonzo character, but they go by a different name.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
I don't-
in the production?
In the production.
in
what is their name?
Japan. Yeah. No, I don't think we know that, do we?
Was it
Samurai?
a name? Was
Samurai.
It was created.
It is. It actually is a samurai fight. That is the.
Akari.
that is
He's
the
named
way they
Akari.
do it.
So it was
Akari?
created for that production.
It was. So
Okay.
we'll go to the answer. It is Gilbert or Grumbuskin.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Gilbert.
You know,
Never
I
heard
was
of
going
such
to
a
say
person.
Gilbert. It's so
No,
funny.
Gilbert. How did Gilbert get into?
How did you come
I
up
was
with
going to
that,
say
Amy?
Rosen. I was
I
going to say
was not, I was
Rosencrantz.
lying. Just now. See what a good actress I am?
Oh, you are.
You got me
All right,
there.
we're going to go to an easier question then.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Between 2014 and 2016, this cat was changed to be a hip hop rapping cat.
Jellicle.
Tugger.
I'm gonna say Rum Tum
Jellicle, Rum
Tugger.
Tum Tugger.
Wait, sit, Jellicle.
Yes. It is. Yes,
Tugger.
Kari, you are correct, Kari.
Thank you.
What?
Tony, I knew you always had that in you.
Okay. Next question is, this cat was actually named after T.S. Eliot's cat.
Oh.
Oh, I used to know this. Jellicle, isn't it Electra? Is it?
It's not
No.
Electra.
Rumple Teaser.
It's not Rumpelteazer.
All right, I give up.
Grizabella.
It's not Grizabella.
No, Grizabella wasn't in the poem.
Yeah.
Jenny Any Dots.
Closer.
No,
but
I think
not
it's
it.
Jelly Lorum.
Jelly Laura.
Ah,
There we go.
Joanna. Yes. Good.
Joanna,
Good,
Beck.
Joanna.
Good for you. You get a
2-1.
star.
2-1.
I love
right.
that. I love that.
There is a website called fanfiction.net, which has over 3,200 cat fan fiction stories. Shockingly, none of them have been written by me. And when you sort by most popular, 10 of the top 20 stories are about which 2 cats being a romantic couple.
Jellicle, it's definitely Cassandra and Gus.
No.
Jellicle. Well, it's Demeter and Macavity.
No. These sounds like there's a lot more fan fiction that needs to be written.
Jellicle, would it be Tumble Brutus and Victoria?
It is not.
The White Cat.
Jellicle.
No?
Jellicle.
Kari,
Demeter.
They had that one
and
moment.
Bomb Ballerina. Wait,
No.
Demeter and Bomb Ballerina.
No.
Oh,
Jellicle,
wow.
Jelly and Gus.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Rum
That
Tum.
would-
Is Rum Tum in it?
There
Please
we go. We
tell
got
us.
half.
This is it.
It's Rum Tum and Bomb.
Yes.
Oh,
Rum
no,
Tug
it's-
and Mistopheles.
It's Tug and Mistopheles.
What?
That's it.
You know I was
It is-
going to go there, but wow.
It is a whole lot of those stories are about the two of them.
Really?
Mhm.
Tugger and Mistopheles.
What do you know?
Okay.
Huh,
Okay.
okay.
Tugopheles or Tuxtopheles, you can read a lot about.
Tuxtopheles.
Wow.
So,
That's
okay, this one, let's go away from the characters here a little bit. So Cats won the Tony for Best Musical in 1983. What were the other nominations that year for Best Musical?
Oh, God.
Miss Saigon. No, that was the wrong year.
83.
You know, I could Google it right now. And
Oh,
get
yeah, we could easily.
Yeah, right.
You can
I was
Google all of
I
these
was in
very
elementary
quickly.
school.
Okay, come on, Kari.
In 80.
That was
I
a
was-
really long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
83.
I don't remember.
I was
Wasn't
thinking
it
it was, actually, I thought it was
Chicago?
81.
No.
Wasn't Chorus Line, of course. No,
No.
it can't be.
That was
no, 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 no.
75.
Wasn't 42nd
yeah,
Street,
yeah.
was it?
Sophisticated ladies.
I would love to give you a clue, but I don't know anything about any of these three musicals.
Would
So
you
I
give
can't
him-
even help.
Give them
Listen.
one of the three.
I'll give you one of the three was Merlin.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So it was Doll's Life.
It was
Yeah.
not.
Rags.
It was not Rags. Why don't we pop them up? I'm curious because I don't know anything about
Merrily, Merrily
Losing the Night, Merlin,
Oh,
and
my
My
one and
My
only.
one and only.
Wow.
Which
Oh,
one?
and
Which
only was
one?
out.
It won, right? My one
Cats
and only
won.
did it.
Cat.
No,
No,
Cats
Cats
won.
won.
Jesus.
Cats won.
Okay, I
I
forgot.
wasn't okay, there you go.
Why? It's a terrible show. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, Cats
All right,
won.
let's change gears a little bit. So there is
Okay.
currently a production of Cats going on the Royal Caribbean cruise Oasis
Oh
of the Seas.
no!
No,
And
really?
they have they've turned it into a 90-minute version.
Oh,
And so they
God.
cut one character, I would say main character out. So who had their song cut?
Jenny
I
Any
was-
Dots.
Jenny Any
Jellicle,
Dots.
Jenny
Yeah.
Any Dots.
It's not
Nope.
Jenny Any Dots.
That was
The
the Gus.
son-
Gus.
It's not Gus.
I was gonna say Gus.
No.
Who said that?
It's
Oh,
not
it's not
Gus.
right?
I'm going to say Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
No.
That's not
No way.
it. You're
No way,
closer with
Jonathan.
Gus.
Yeah, no.
Skimbleshanks.
Not Skimbleshanks.
It's not Duke
wait,
because
wait,
they called
you
me.
guys.
They can't
Old
cut
dude-
old dude.
no.
You're
No.
too important
Yeah,
to the
you
show.
can't cut Gus. Oh, Bustopher Jones.
There
That's
it is.
it.
Oh,
Yay.
that's good one.
They
Joanna.
sent him to the
Nice.
cruise buffet and he is not
Yeah.
performing.
He's happy.
He's happy at the buffet.
So
All
would
right,
you
we are-
rather do the show on a rake or on the
On a-
ocean?
Yeah,
No,
there's
on a
that.
rake
Yeah.
in the ocean, Amy. Both, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh my God, that.
Okay, we are
can't-
tied up.
Tied up. All right, there are two questions left. So
Okay.
there has been a few animated series that have made fun of cats in an episode. I know of three. Can you name one show that has made fun of?
Jellicle, South Park.
South Park is not, but that
Jellicle,
at the time.
Simpsons,
The Simpsons
I
is
was going to say
one.
The Simpsons.
There you
and
go.
Family
Simpsons.
Guy.
I was
Family
going to
Guy.
say Family
and-
Guy.
Yep.
Wait,
Family
what was
Guy.
the
I
third
know.
one?
Jonathan, you have
Oh,
to say
there it
those
is.
faster.
BoJack Horseman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that now. Yep.
BoJack.
Okay.
Who won that? We won. Did we win?
There's one more question.
Oh, okay.
One more question. I think this one's a rumor, so I'm going off of what the rumor says, which is that this cat was chosen for the Heaviside layer in the Jellicle Ball before the one the audience sees.
Remember that the cat was chosen for the episode in the.
So they've been reborn in your
Oh,
production.
Gus. I mean, the old dude.
It is not old dude. It is not Gus.
I mean, I meant old dude.
Monk
No, he's too young.
Monkish Trap. No, it's a good guess.
Oh, Monk.
It's not McCavity.
I have no idea.
I'll give you a clue.
Alonzo.
It is a female. I'll give that clue.
Oh.
Jelly Laura.
Jelly Laura.
Getting close.
Jenny?
Jenny.
No.
Elfman?
Jenny Any Dots.
You've mentioned almost everybody else except for the choice.
Cassandra.
We
Not
mentioned
Cassandra.
Victoria.
No.
Victoria.
Not Victoria.
Victoria.
Syllabub?
Okay, let's
Syllabub.
go through.
Let's go through everyone.
Mungo Jerry.
No, you said it's a female.
Mungo Jerry.
Oh,
Taser.
it's not going to be.
Oh, it's a female.
And it's not syllabub?
Not syllable.
I don't know.
This is for the win. Whoever's going to get this right.
So just it's a we win. Just what's the answer?
Is it a woman?
Bomb ballerina.
Bomb ballerina.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Why?
This is the context. Is that Bomb ballerina was Dick Whittington's cat, like they say in the Jellicle Songs.
That's right.
And because of her heroics, she was chosen the year before, and she is now back in her next life.
Oh, that's me. Bomb.
So Alan, who
That could
took
go
the
Alan,
victory?
who took the victory?
So that's a 3-3 split down.
All
Oh no, team. Sorry, Austin. Oh, sorry. Austin is Oh, no, it's a 4-2 because Austin, you got bomb, right? Yeah, so it's 4-2. Team A is
good
took
going.
it.
In. All right.
Joanna
Well,
got
thank you.
2.
Thanks, Anthony, for
But I
helping
got
us out.
1.
Yeah, I'm so glad I was able to really help out our team.
But can we do one thing before? Can we do our special?
Yes, let's
our
do it
special
before we
little
go into
surprise
the
that we're
naming of
doing?
cats.
What's our surprise?
So before they're going to tell you about why we did naming of cats, and actually everybody who's on this call partook in naming of cats, and Kari actually was the director of it, and she can talk to you about how we came across that. But as I was getting ready for tonight, I came across something, and I know that this is that we are doing this as a fundraiser for Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, and ultimately the Actors Fund. So what I would like to put up for a bid of $500 is our company's souvenir program, which has absolutely everybody who is in this video, in this podcast tonight. And I could go through this and show you all of the pictures that they are there. There's Demeter, Deborah Geneviere, there's Leslie Ellis, there's me, thank you, as Skimbleshank. There's Tony Bova right there. So the first person who puts up, and here is Amiee Turner. If you can see that fabulous extension that this thing did. And the first person who donates $500 to BroadwayCares.org/Cats2020 will receive this souvenir program from our company. Okay, and that's my promise to Broadway Cares. So go.
All right. Now, thank you for that. Let's hear. Tell me about the naming of cats. What are we about to watch?
Oh, okay.
Kari.
Well, Jonathan asked me to kind of help him come up with the concept and choose the participators. And I personally love this part of the show. We get to stand still, but it was just like the lighting, and I'm getting the chills thinking about it, and the poem, and it was a really mystical, cool, dark, sexy kind of part of the show. And so we're like, well, how are we going to do this in our homes, in our living rooms on Zoom? And I came up with candles. And we originally wanted smoke. I wanted steam, just to make it look, mysterious. And so we kind of got that right, Jonathan. And then we started running with that. And then I just wanted it to be very odd and very peculiar, be entertaining, and try to, and I think everybody really rose to the occasion and had fun with it, as you'll see when we watch the clip.
And it was broadcast on Halloween, so it was
Thank
really
you,
fun
Amy.
to
Oh yeah, that's right.
Kind of just do something very theatrical and
Yeah.
as Kari said, kind of spooky and just fun to kind of celebrate, Halloween.
Well, it's always fun to be weird and strange. I like to do that as often as possible, right?
And the intention was to do a little homage to T.S. Eliot, and the source material is that these were poems written for children. And so we wanted to sort of honor that. And I thought it was fabulous that we got Andrew Lloyd Webber's permission to do the music from the show. But when I said, I want to do naming of cats just as an oratorical piece, there was a dead silence in the meeting, and they were like, you have to go to the T.S. Eliot estate for that. So we got permission from the T.S. Eliot estate to do what you are about to see. And every one of these human beings took part in that, which I'm grateful for. So.
Well, let's see this video. That is eerie and haunting, and a great transition to talk about Grizabella, who is the Jellicle choice here. So welcome. We have 3 Grizabellas here. So why don't you introduce yourself? And maybe since we all know your Grizabellas, what production that you played Grizabella in?
I'm Lyn, and I was in Cats 4. I was standby for Grizabella and booth singer.
I'm Leslie, and I was Grizabella in the 3rd National.
And Heidi, do we have you here?
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you, Heidi. Let's see if we can get this troubleshoot real quick. Okay. Can you hear us, Heidi?
Okay, she can hear us, but she can't. Do you need to go to the preferences on your computer and select headphones?
Yes, Heidi.
Oh, you can hear it, rather. Okay.
Okay. As Heidi, we can't hear you, but we can
Is
see
she
you.
on the
So
mute? Is her mute button on?
she's not muted, so I think maybe we'll.
You hear me? Okay.
There we go. Okay.
I can't hear
Heidi,
you very well. Hold on a second.
Okay, we can hear you now, though. Can you hear
Yay,
us?
okay, good. Thank you so much for your patience.
No problem. That's the world we live in now with the tech. So,
Oh, I know.
And Heidi, you were in the Broadway production.
Yeah, I have a unique relationship with the show because I've done 3. I did the first national. They put me in for the last 6 weeks of the run in Boston so I could learn the role. And then I went into the 3rd national, and then I went into Broadway. So
Amazing.
I've done, so it was a gift. It was a gift to have that experience and to work with so many incredible artists and also creators.
Well, I am thrilled because this is the majority of what I've spent my time debating, and I always love talking to Grizabella. So we're going to talk probably a conversation you've never had about Grizabella's backstory and why she's picked. So I want to start by hearing from you. Let's talk about her story. I want to know there's not a lot of context clues for the audience about her life before she leaves the tribe. So we just know she's the Glamour Cat. When you performed as Grizabella, what was your Grizabella pre-leaving backstory?
Well, for me, I can speak. I based my Grizabella on 3 characters: Blanche Dubois, Norma Desmond, and Vivian Lee in Ship of Fools. I don't remember that character she played, but she does this crazy little dance on the ship. And Grizabella, I remember, I think it was Janine Lavulo told me when I went into the first national to learn the part. She said, Heidi, they'll tell you everything she isn't and nothing that she is. So what they told me was she's not dead, she's not dying, she's not old, and she's not a bag lady. And so I just think that she was a very proud person, probably very vain. And I know, Mike, it's my first understanding that you experienced it first in the revival, and then you saw the feature film. And I remember you saying that you thought maybe she was kicked out, or that was a rumor. She was kicked out. And I was always under the impression that she chose to leave and she wanted a better life. And so it was her choice to walk out on her tribe, which is a very difficult thing to do. And I think that's a lot of the reason why there's so many conflicting feelings when she comes back, and why that entrance that Andrew wrote and Trevor staged and Julian worked on is so powerful when she makes that first entrance, because as Grizabella, as my colleagues know, you have 15 minutes to tell her story. And that first minute you're on that stage, you know what you're doing. Right?
15 minutes, exactly, Heidi. 15 minutes.
It's
15
everything.
minutes. Mm-hmm.
And then you knit in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So okay, so
That's
she
how I
voluntarily,
approach it.
yeah.
That's
So
how I
she
approach it.
voluntarily left.
I mean, I agree with that because I kind of likened it to people running off to like Los Angeles in the early days of color films and, wanting to be a star and, leaving the tribe to me was always just going off to find your fame and fortune or whatever.
Yeah.
And and then, stuff is in showbiz didn't work out and she's back because she's coming home and she is desperate.
Yeah.
Truly desperate.
I agree. That's where I brought Grizabella from, that she always had this dream. She knew she had this talent and she wanted to go off and just live her life. And I guess she believed all the hype that, oh, you're pretty, you can sing, oh, you can dance. And so she went out to try to see if she could do it. And she got beat up by just the business, everything. And she came back and from my perspective, her leaving, she left a lot of unfinished relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And you build those relationships around the different cats. And when she got beat up and she came back home looking for just a hug, just a touch, just for somebody to accept her because she was not accepted where she really, where her heart was.
Well, and I think that's a really interesting piece of this is that there's a lot of rumors about the relationships that she leaves. So potentially children left behind or lovers left behind. Is that, how do you see you shaking your head? Is that not?
I think lovers. I don't think children.
No children. So not Bom, Demeter, or Victoria. Those are the three that are rumored.
I don't personally, but that's again, you can make that backstory up as how you want to make that up. It's my feeling that I walk in and the kittens don't know me, but they've heard about me and they're curious about me. So they're kind of like, who is that? And the teenagers are like, oh, it's her. And then the older ones are like, well, and they've heard about me. And so there's a past. Trevor Nunn actually told us on Broadway that it's like there's a big party going on and the phonograph is going and there's a record on the record player. And the minute she walks in, it's like somebody picks up the needle off the record. And it's this moment like, oh, there she is. Right. So that moment is electric. So my feeling was that I had a very strong relationship with Munkustrap. And I had the relationship with him so I could go at him. I could confront him and say, how can you treat me like this? So that was, it's so layered, and I think it's so interesting. It was so fun to listen to the earlier actors talking about it because it was indeed quite the event when it happened. Yeah, and so, and I love hearing all these, like the lore and the rumors. I think it's so interesting because it tells you there's something about the show that connects people or intrigues them.
It is, I think the beauty of the show is that it is so almost undefined in some ways while having a lot of definition. And so that allows you to kind of fill in blanks as you need. And not just as an audience member, but it sounds like even as cast members, because as I've talked to more cast members, there's people who've played it certain ways and somebody else has played this relationship. And there's a little bit of difference every single time I talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So now let's kind of dive into You Come Back. Why do you believe Old Deuteronomy chooses Grizabella?
I think Old Deuteronomy was there. I think he was there when she was growing up. He watched her grow up and he saw all of her talent and he saw that she had the courage to even come back. Because most people, maybe she was like the prodigal son, and I think there was a connection there because maybe he was one of the people who encouraged her in her abilities, and maybe he was the one who said, well, go try it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, lots of backstories.
So guilt, you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, let me reframe this question, though, a little bit. How do you think Old Deuteronomy chooses every year?
It's how well people present their stories.
Yeah.
It's how strongly the passion comes through their story.
And so all three of you firmly believe that Grizabella's passion and story is the one from that year. I already see yeses.
Well, I think the story is that she suffered the most.
Yeah.
She suffered and she left, and it took a lot of courage to come back. And the thing about Grizabella, she just doesn't leave after she gets scratched. She keeps coming back, and she's determined and she's resolute. Mm-hmm. And she has to, once she finally says what she's been through, and then once she finally says, she drops her artifice and she drops her pride and her ego, and she lets go of it and says, touch me. I need your help. That's when it all changes. So I think that's
we got the song. That's why.
Yeah, I think
we got the song.
The receiving line is so powerful. When you do that receiving line, is everybody is on the same page about this.
Mm-hmm. So but when she leaves after Touch Me, when she gets up to leave, there's sort of a pride. You know, I came in here with my head down, but I'm going to leave with my head up, whether you touch me or not. And then she feels that.
Yeah.
That, what syllable is.
She's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
But she's
not just broken. She's super tough.
Mm-hmm.
And she has had to learn to be tough and fight to survive.
Yeah. I've been knocked down before, and I've gotten up before. So,
yeah, exactly.
I love the passionate defense of Grizabella as someone who spent many episodes arguing against this. Here's my kind of, I think you're all on the same page that Grizabella is your Jellicle choice. So I'm going to ask this a slightly different way. If Grizabella doesn't come back in the year that we see, who goes?
Gus.
100%.
So with that in mind, why not Gus over Grizabella? Why not Grizabella the next year?
Gus had a career. Gus had everything he endeavored to do. He's old, but he has friends. He has Jelly. He has his friends. He has his memories. And she's the one who's just the most desperate and the most in need. And I think Deuteronomy knows that. I think he knows. He's the all-knowing.
I agree.
Well, it's kind of, the show doesn't have an arc without her. There's no tension. If she doesn't show up, right? So it's kind of, that's what really kind of drives it. And so I find that so interesting that because Trevor and Jillian and Andrew didn't know what to do, and then they had the unpublished poem, and they went, oh, we've got the through line. And then the Rhapsody on a Windy Night, and remark is those words are right out of that unpublished poem. All of it is there. So it's just thrilling. I wish I was in the room when that happened, when they realized that they had the arc of the show, because the show would be very different without her, right?
Definitely. I mean, I think you would follow more of a McCavity as the bad guy to create your villain story. I'm working on Cats too. Don't worry. I'm working on how to rewrite some of this. I would love to hear just, Memory is the iconic song from the show, and, you all get to belt it out. And as you said, 15 minutes. What is that like? Almost leaving everything you have on stage, every single performance that you get to do it.
Rewarding.
It's exhausting and terrifying. I have to just say that. Because I was on the road and we did 1 week stops a lot. And we never did any split weeks, but we did 1 week stops. And I was 24 years old. It was my first job. And I was just, oh my God, the whole show's on my shoulders. I didn't drink coffee. I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't speak. I was a nervous wreck when I left that show because it's the whole, thing that everybody's coming to hear. And it's not an easy song to sing.
It's not.
It is not an easy song to sing 8 shows a week.
It's not. It's not.
So that's my experience. I loved it. It was a blessing. I had the best time ever, but also that's what I was thinking every night is, God, I hope it comes out.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. After you have to belt that and belt it and go back up, and then you have to jump at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
And I had tour by then to sit around. Yeah. So you now are in your dressing room and you are vocalizing again.
Yeah.
You're warming up again to make sure you got the E flat.
You got those trills going and everything.
Oh goodness, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I thought I felt because everything it was building up to that one moment, and you get up when you hit that touch me, and then you hit that last note, and you realize, oh my gosh, I did it. You're shaking, and you're like, okay, my vocal cords are in the pit right now, but I'm okay. And it was just because all the emotions, if somebody cut you off on the road or anything, you could put it all in that one moment and just leave it out there and give it to the audience and do with it as you please. But, this is how I felt. I did it for 8 years. So I did Cats for 8 years, and it was just wonderful.
I remember when Stanley Lebowski died of a heart attack in mid-run, and we were in Dallas, and I remember when they told us right before the show, and we all just went out on stage and we were stunned, and but it was, as you said, Lyn, it was something that I could visit in a whatever I was feeling at the time. I could put it into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Lyn, it sounds like the world would be in a better place if we all channeled our anger and emotion and just sing Memory every night, and you'll be much happier.
Yeah, you can use everything in the day. Sure.
Everything.
Yeah. Absolutely can.
That's your mantra at the end of the day. Just sit in your yoga pose and belt out Touch Me, and you're good.
That's hilarious.
Well, I think that is probably the best way possible to end this. I appreciate your defense of Grizabella. I'm not ready to rename my show, but I do love always hearing from you, and thank you all for being here. And to everyone watching, again, thank you for joining us tonight as we welcome back Broadway. Go see a show, whether it's Broadway, tour, regional production, support the arts and this amazing community of people. And then just quick reminder for everyone here, you can find The Wrong Cat Died on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts, on Twitter and Instagram at The Wrong Cat Died, or the website thewrongcatdied.com. And a huge thank you again to the Broadway Podcast Network, Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, Jonathan Cerullo, and the entire cast members, everyone who is here today to participate.
Thank you for keeping the memory alive.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike, for your passion.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.